Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today, as we are in Seraph Industries with a bunch of private security, Seraph security, defending against nobody really at this time, but they barricaded the whole place. And they want to go in. I don't know how they'll come in, but they might. So we have a staff elevator over there. We're just going around having a chat. No, not really having a chat. Just listening to people, really. Because... oh, I could go to my... where's my... is it upstairs? To my office. It's been a long while since we've been here. I really wish it wasn't like this. I wish we had been here a little bit more often. Because, you know, it would justify me not having spent the first few episodes just exploring this whole place, because that was absolutely necessary. In hindsight, I did the correct thing. And I wish I didn't have to. I wish the game didn't allow me to, so I would know in advance. So, disable all the cameras. Don't ask me later. What do we have? Oh, I need to hack my own computer because I forget the password. Is it true that the game doesn't tell me what the password is for systems that I know the password of? Or is it the first time that I'm hacking this? We're gonna need a nuke in there. This is a difficult one. We're gonna go with a nuke there.
Access granted.
500 experience. Confidential. This is new. Oh, this is the DNA test. I had a friend at the GeneView lab run the tests of records like you asked. Does your subject know that neither of his parents are his birth parents? Yep, and then we have... wait. Oh, this is Brent Radford. This is that motherfucker that we shot in the face. Yeah, he sent us the email. Oh, interesting. There... like, I don't know how... there's definitely things in here. It's hard to see. I don't know how deep we can read into this, but in real life, if this happens, it's because the sender is trying to break our connection with our employee. Or employer, rather. Basically, this would get Jensen to not be trusted by Seraph anymore. They really got the worst picture of him possible. This is like a cell phone from the 80s. Anyway, yeah, basically that, because Seraph knows we're receiving this email, and then Seraph is like, good, now Jensen can't be trusted, because he was holding things from me. That's the point. That's the implication there, I think. And then we have office thefts over here. Jensen, as if riots weren't bad enough. I've been hearing all sorts of rumors about stuff being stolen out of people's offices. What happened to the family vibe Mr. Seraph keeps saying exists in here? You ask me, Heather Stitchner, yes, is behind it. She came up behind me as I was punching my door code in, and I swear she watched me do it. And 0123 is not that hard to remember. Said she was there to see if I wanted to talk about these riots, right? You gotta check into her, man. I will. Although I do think that this might be a result of our choice earlier in the game to steal everything that we could from everything in here, because we did that. So, office break-ins. Jensen, is it true someone's been breaking into offices and stealing stuff? Because if it is, my job just got harder. You know Picus is trying to dig up as much dirt on us as they can, don't you? And if one disgruntled employee says the wrong thing in the wrong bar, I'm having a hard enough time keeping a lid on bad press as it is. Can't you get to the bottom of this? And that's Lyle Rogers, Director of Public Relations and Media. P.S. I was kind of attached to 2121, but just to be safe, I think you and Pritchard should think about updating door codes around here again. No, it's me who's stealing all the things. And they're sending me door codes left and right. Good news and bad, Adam. Looks like the neuropazine thefts may have stopped, but tonight, Heather Stitchner came to me in tears, apparently because Jerry Maher accused her of being the office bandit, quote-unquote, in front of everybody. She's demanding that her quote-unquote, good name be vindicated. I know you've got far more important things to worry about right now, but could you possibly get one of your security guys to take a peek into Heather's office and search it? She says it's the only way to prove she's not stealing anything from anyone. Her office is number 35, access code 3167, thanks. And that's from, I think, Marguli? Or Marguli? We have some painkillers in there that we are not going to need, because we are never in pain. And we're going to steal from everybody's office again, because I can hack into everybody. So, we're going to start from here, and we're going to go around. We're going to do the rounds. What do we have? All the books that I read already. Might as well check it, because, you know, you never know. Pocket secretary. You know, Danny, for a lawyer, you're a pretty cool dude. Thanks for checking the POs. Would have done it myself, but Serif's bitch, that's capital S, capital B, has had my number for way too long. That's the wrong two as well. If she'd caught me with them, with an apostrophe before, instead of the H, or actually the TH, I would have... This is like, it feels like a I don't know what it feels like, but it's like, who writes like this? Who does? What is this? Anyway, I would have been toast. You know she has got KZ implants, don't you? Anyway, well, really? KZ? I don't know who Serif's bitch is. It's she, otherwise I would think it's Jensen. Because, you know, Jensen is Serif's bitch. Anyway, from what you told me, I'm sure Mika pines behind these thefts. She's in purchasing types out... No, she's in purchasing. Types out the POs before Marguli, that's dash dash over there as well, signs them. It would be so easy for her to change the figs after. She's OOTO out of the office, yes, till Thursday, so I just gotta... Who writes still with double L's? Because that is correct, by the way. You can write it both ways, and it means the same thing. English is weird, but yeah, it's an abbreviation. Either way, so if you use it like this, so I just gotta get into her office. Apostrophe 4. Snake gave me the code next door. I'm thinking of letting myself in there and using the air ducts to cross into her office. Don't worry, I won't sue if anything goes wrong. Are you kidding me? Like, obviously people are breaking into everybody's offices. I mean, I can't say anything. I'm just totally fine with it. All I want to see is people's emails and complain about their dashes. Because, my god, stop with the dashes. What is this? What is this, seriously? I know. Well, I actually don't know specifically, but I know old developers and people who grew up writing in old computers. They do that a lot. So, we got an ebook that we read already, because we have been everywhere. Nothing here. Computer. That's not a new one. Yeah. A lot of money. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just getting all the money that I absolutely need to have, but not use. I just need to have it. Don't ask me why. Okay, so Hearts of Steel for sure. More money. And the doors are all open. Actually, that they should be closed. They're open because I opened them at the beginning of the game. But yeah, intolerable situation. Heather, you got to speak to David. The new lab space is horrible. I don't know what kind of a deal he got on the rent, but I swear building maintenance is for shit here. Yeah, the air conditioning system keeps breaking down and no one seems to know how to fix it. They still haven't fixed the lock on the back door, even though we requested it 2 weeks ago. Every time someone even touches the door handle, the alarm goes off. How are we supposed to think around here? You gotta do something, Heather. No wonder tempers are so short. Yeah, they are very poor, this company. They can't afford proper stuff in air conditioning. It's probably the condensers being condensy. Oh, I can't pick this up. Are you serious? Okay. Upwards triangle place. Nothing back here. Any money? Nope. That's good to me. And the downwards triangle place. What is that? Oh, the germ dispenser. Of course. Nothing else? Good. And then over here, nothing. Sounds good. And then, yeah, I've been everywhere. I don't really need to be too concerned about things that I haven't seen in terms of exploration, but in terms of treasure. Treasure is a different thing. I'm just opening these things because if the game tells me scholar, if it gives me experience for reading those, then it means I hadn't read it, and I have to read it. I have to. Unless it's about weapons, because those don't matter. Unless it does, in which case I will read it. Final study. Password Eclipse. But nobody needs that. They shouldn't have given me experience for this. Actually, well, I don't mind. But I don't think it's a good balance of the game to give you experience for hacking things. Because it just, you know...
Access granted.
There's a lot of stuff. Basically, you could use that, but you don't need to because you don't want the thing. Andrea, you gotta tell me, what the hell was that the other night? First of all, I had no clue you were interested and no idea you were still in the lab. But when I went to put the extra no pause away, that's neuropazine, I think, and caught you reaching into the freezer, well, needless to say, it was a very pleasant surprise. That's with dash dash exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. So that's how very surprising it is. Thank God, capital G, Rosalini didn't walk in on us. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was about the neuropazine trafficking that we sort of busted before. But not really. But sort of. I mean, we finished the quest. Super chocolates. Give me all the super chocolates. This has definitely been worth it, just on account of those super chocolates. I have chocolates as well. I will have them before streaming, because today is streaming days. Anyway, Project Basilisk, yeah, we read that already. So that's the upper floor. Everything seems good. Don't shoot me, officer. I'm just stealing some things. You know how it goes. I probably missed these before, by the way. They probably weren't empty. I just didn't notice that they were anything like that. Every season grief counseling. Attention all staff. Representatives from every season counseling services will be in our offices Thursday morning to discuss their program, schedule private one-on-one consultations, and answer any questions you might have. I urge each and every one of you to attend. Please see me if you have a conflict. A conflict? Isn't that for grief? Or a conflict as in scheduling conflict. Right. And this is the third time that we see the Nigerian prince thing. That thing is very dated, by the way. The scam. It was all the rage back in the noughties. Well, it's actually from before the noughties, but I think it's from late 90s that the first Nigerian prince scam started. I don't remember reading the Wikipedia article on it. Wait, I didn't fix you? I'm very sorry. I probably won't need to avoid you, but we'll see. Yeah, but these days we just... it's not... It's the security and computing obviously advances very fast. But phishing and just the common perception of what security means is just very different than it was 20 years ago, especially because the 2020 or the 2010s were a period of huge boost or boom rather in the overall participation of people on the internet. So the scams got different, and these days the scams are different, and they're basically it's very different. It's scams, yeah. It's all about the what's the word? Those viruses that lock your computer up? What are they called? You need... Anyway. What are they? I don't know. Actually know what they're called. So basically, it's a virus. Instead of breaking your computer or stealing your data, it actually encrypts the whole computer. And by the way, we're going to see Pritchard's stuff. It encrypts all of your data, and you need to send ransomware. That's the one. You need to send a ransom to somebody, usually in the form of cryptocurrency, so it can't be traced easily, and or at all. And you send that ransom, and they send you a key, or automatically unlock you. They don't do it manually, or they never do it at all. I personally have never had the misfortune of coming across ransomware. I back my data up as best I can, and that's basically my plan. If I ever get my computer encrypted, I just restore a backup, and that's it. Because since we're talking about cybersecurity, I recommend everybody that is watching right now back your stuff up. And when I say back it up, I mean get it from the computer and put it somewhere else. Perfectly somewhere different, but, you know, like, for example, uploading it into a cloud service, so that if your house burns down because you have the pen drive over there with the backup, then you don't lose everything. You have something somewhere. But backing up is very important, also because of the ransomware. And, you know, as you can imagine, you might have to do it automatically every day, so that if you get hacked or anything, you don't lose everything from the last week because your backup is a week old or something. But it also depends on what kind of things you do with the computer and all this sort of stuff. I have a computer that I only back up once a year, and I'm totally fine with that. And honestly, I could live without backing it up, because everything is in there. I could just replace it. Either way, we're hacking Pritchard's stuff because we can. And he's not here, and we stole his chocolate. Wait, did he actually have chocolate this time? Wow, he's really the worst, isn't he? That's the real that's the real moral of the game. Is how much of a terrible person Pritchard is.
Access granted.
He's really bad. Interesting. Oh, Pritchard is Nuclear Snake. That's why the game made such a big deal about somebody called Nuclear Snake. Yeah, whatever. Unfortunately, the game could have built nuclear. This could have been done a lot better, and it isn't. It falls flat. Fortunately, it doesn't matter, but it just falls flat. Nuclear Snake could have been a character all throughout our adventures. Think of all the time we spend reading emails and reading stuff. We could absolutely have been developing Nuclear Snake as a character. Unfortunately, you need to be on the lookout for it, and because, you know, it's just really there, and most of the information is just inside the emails themselves, and it's irrelevant who sent it. But anyway, Pritchard writes, as surprised as I am to admit this, Jensen's security measures actually did work that evening. This is about the evening of the attack. That environmental warning we all heard of. It was a backup failsafe that he insisted. Wait a minute, we read this before. This specific email, which again is one of those. Did we? I don't remember seeing that it was Nuclear Snake that did that. Anyway, I'm still working on finding out how the primary alerts got suppressed, but until I have an answer, I believe it. Oh, there's a password over here. Oh, look at all the passwords. So we have the password for Seraph's place, maybe. All bad passwords, by the way. Terrible passwords. And Nuclear Snake his password is even worse than the other one. Oh my god. Whatever. It's bad passwords because you're supposed to type them in, so that's why they're bad. Either way, I'm still working on finding out how the primary alerts got suppressed, but until I have an answer, I believe it necessary to revamp some important passwords. I've taken the liberty of suggesting a few ideas. Here they are. Dr. Mitchell, or D. Mitchell, Lawboy. Jesus Christ, Pritchard, you are really the worst person. I can't even... Oh, I didn't even read the answer. That's how I can't even... Thanks for letting me, Frank... for telling me, Frank. It's good to know. As for the passwords, be sure to let the affected parties know. Wow, that's bad leadership. Know about what? About your suggestions? About that they should change their passwords? Or that... know about what? Oh my god, what a terrible boss. I mean, he hired Pritchard, so how good could he be, really? But still. Anyway, that's the computer. So we're coming from there. Let's look around a little bit more. And see if we can figure out who's stealing things. Although, I think we know. I think it was that first room that I went to, and people were like, I'm gonna steal all the stuff. I think that was the implication. Although, I am the one stealing things. It's not a puzzle to solve. It's a joke that the game is telling me. A good joke. I like it, but it's not, you know, you can tell it a little bit more often. Let me go in here. And I'm sorry, don't be pissed at me. Nobody gets pissed at you. Just pooped at you. Because, you know, get it? Because of the... Anyway, I'm bad. See, I'm bad at the jokes. The game isn't. Sometimes it is. A lot of the times. It doesn't do many jokes, though, so it's fine. Excessive vacation requests. How dare. That sounds like me. Asking my boss for a vacation. You don't have any more days this year. Okay, so that's it. No, there is not. That is not it. We have a few more. Another ebook that we read. And a lot of money. My god. All of these have money. And I saw that. I just couldn't pick it up. And we have also... There we go. We've also been here before. Wow. I'm beginning to think that maybe they didn't have the money before. And while I possibly did miss the little shelves, I don't know. Either way, that's it. Let's go to the biggest confrontation of all. Not really. I'm not sure. It is going to be a big confrontation. At least I imagine. Remember starting the game in this particular elevator? Wait.
Sheriff?
David's just stepped out for a moment, Mr. Jensen. But do come in. I've been hoping to meet you.
Mr. Darrow. I'm surprised you even know who I am.
David speaks very highly of you. He says that when it comes to detective work, you are like a dog with a bone. Have you found your scientist yet?
What else did David tell you?
Over the years, plenty. But today I'm here as a friend and fellow scientist. Things are getting quite turbulent out there, wouldn't you agree? So many people drunk on revolution. The United Nations being urged to intervene. And all because of the technology I created.
Things have come a long way since then.
Haven't they? And now my old friend David wants me to lead us to the Promised Land. He's asked me to invite members of the UN to Panchaea, to convince them we don't need industry regulation.
Your geoengineering project in the Arctic Ocean.
The installation couldn't have been built without the assistance of augmented workers. And when it's finished, my little hole in the ocean is going to stop global warming. A lovely photo op, wouldn't you say?
If it works.
You mean, if it doesn't kill us all?
Adam? You're back. Can I speak to you outside? Get to the helipad, son. You're going back to Hengsha Island. Frank tracked down one of the GPLs.
Only one? Is it?
Sevchenko's. But Adam, we had to call in a favor of the DOD to do it.
Meaning, the conspirators probably know I'm coming.
That's not the conclusion that you should... It's not the conclusion that you should reach there, Jensen. I understand we need to save all the twists for later. Or not all of them, but some of them. I was gonna say that Elizabeth is looking very different today. Looking, positively shiny. Or shining? Whatever. Can I talk to you?
You're Adam Jensen, right? The security chief here? Your men did a good job securing this building when the riot broke out.
I can't stress enough how much the UN in this game does not work like real-life UN. Nothing. It's like, what? Honestly, it feels like the people who wrote this, and the original game as well, don't know how the UN works, which is bonkers. It is bonkers to think of, but I think it just goes unsaid, and it's just supposed to be like, whatever. It is not that. What I'm thinking is, it is not that. I think it's something else. It's just, the UN is a different type of organization in this world. And it... nukes all over. I'm gonna have to nuke all of the things.
Access granted.
Wow. That was a difficult one. Mrs. Margulis, of course I appreciate Mr. Serif's support, which is why I will do my best to explain to my patient exactly what this generous gift entails, but that is as far as I will go. From now on, whatever augmentations he decides to acquire will be his choice, and his alone. Speaking of which, that thing wouldn't have been able to be constructed without augmented workers. I really like that they didn't tell us the details about that, because the moment they go into details about that, that line is completely unjustifiable. There's nothing that requires augmented workers in our current building things. Everything. Nothing requires augmented workers. You can use robots. You can use a bunch of other things, but people with augmentations? No. You have maybe you have exoskeletons if you want it. If you want them to is it exoskeletons? I think well, they work like exoskeletons from video games, but I don't know that they're called exoskeletons. They're basically armed extensions. They're robot arms that attach to your back, and they're basically made for, or rather, they don't attach to your back. You attach to them. They basically made for a more manual and intuitive control of cranes, because cranes are a little bit weird and require training, and also in certain situations they just don't work normally or properly. So some applications require different things, but usually they don't, because normal cranes work for everything. Whatever. It's a good thing. What I'm saying is a good thing they don't explain that stuff, because that thing is the least. It's the least of the benefits of augmentations, and the game just hypes that up like it's nobody's. It's like, oh, now we're gonna be able to build towers because we couldn't before. Like, think of how does anybody bring a stone up so high? We're not augmented. We can't bring it up there, obviously. Anyway, from now on, whatever augmentations he decides to acquire will be his choice, but he's alone, the patient, -- and not the employer. -- will be the one to decide whether a half-tested prototype augmentation should be included with all the others or not. And that's Vera Markovic from Limb International. That's interesting. About what? Huh. And then we have a bunch of data over here. Completed and off the manufacturing, the Typhoon, the Basilisk. Thank goodness O'Neill had other priorities. There's a something Tiger. The Omnivision 2. Progress looks good, but it's about to get held up in viability testing since it's internally driven. Can we push it to the next quarter? And then we have Comms Deck. Need to re-examine contract and timeline before determining next steps. David's meeting with the board next week to go over our financials. I need the weekly project reports before then. That's Athene. Athene replies as requested here, or that's no. Athene doesn't reply. Heather replies. Oh, that's his name. Her name, not Elizabeth. Heather. As requested, here's the weekly report, project report from the Temp Labs. Can't you let David know we're? No, wait. Athene is the lady that was over here, not Elizabeth. Heather is whoever this is coming from. I get confused because this is the inbox. Can you let David know we're really trying, but there's only so much you can push people. Necessity knows no law except to conquer really only sounds good on paper. No, it doesn't even do that. Do not put that man through to me again, says the Beers. That says Sarif about the Beers. I don't care how much money he has or how influential his company is, -- I want nothing to do with him or the organization he represents. I've kept this company afloat and free of their influence peddling for years. I'm not about to start listening to them now. Yep. I'm not actually sure about the Beers. Because, I think we have heard of that. Or is that is that an important character in the original Deus Ex? I recognize the name somehow. Either way, we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Deus Ex Human Revolution. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.